Hi everyone, welcome to GBE Reviews. I am your host Joe, and today I'm going to be talking about the anime Nazo no Kanojo Ecchi, or in English, Mysterious Girlfriend X. Mysterious Girlfriend X is a 13-episode, single-season anime produced by Hoods Entertainment in 2012. The anime is an adaptation of a manga which shares the same name. One thing I'd like to mention in advance is this anime is listed as an ecchi. If you're thinking about ecchi in the traditional sense, i.e. think Girls Bravo or Makin-ki, then you'll be a little bit disappointed. This story is more of a romance slice of life. Granted, there is a little bit of nudity, but it is rated R and not NA, so don't expect the kind of nudity you would see in a traditional ecchi. Now that we've got a bit of the background out of the way, let's talk about the story. What to say about the story of Nazo no Kanojo Ecchi? It's, well, bizarre. The main concept is fairly simple. Tsubaki and Urabe, the two main characters, start dating during the first episode of the anime, and the story follows how their romance develops. Pretty standard stuff, right? There is one major plot device that makes this anime bizarre and special. Urabe and Tsubaki share a magical bond that lets them understand each other's feelings, and they do this through, check this, sharing drool. You heard me. Urabe puts her finger in her mouth, gets it all full of drool, and then puts it in Tsubaki's mouth. The end product of this mix of cliché premise and unique plot device is actually a really sweet romantic story that follows the less typical route of covering a romance that develops between two characters that starts in episode 1 and extends throughout the anime. There is no harem of girls, just one boy, one girl, and a whole lot of drool. As I mentioned earlier, this anime takes a pretty standard route in its episode structure. Some of these include a trip to the beach, girlfriend and boyfriend getting jealous, awkwardly exploring sexuality, the crush from junior high who comes back into the picture, lots and lots of nosebleeds, and just general things you would expect from a first high school romance. What makes this anime stand out are all the atypical character traits which are used, including sharing each other's feelings through drool, a girl who carries around scissors in her pantsu and is proficient at cutting things with them, a girl who is strangely shy considering she is a bit of a pervert, think the main character from Watamode but with an actual boyfriend, a friend who also shares feelings through drool and gives relationship advice, and of course keeping the relationship secret so all sorts of misunderstandings can happen. If you take all of these unique elements and swish them around in your mouth a bit, you end up with something that stands out in a meaningful way. It is hilarious, sweet, and if I'm being honest, a little gross, but I sure enjoyed it. One other thing to mention about this story is how important dreams are. Each of the characters shares their connection through drool, and this usually manifests in causing strange dreams to occur. I found the dream sequences to be a bit surreal, and a cool way of moving forward the plot in the story. The soundtrack of this anime is pretty good. The intro song to this anime is really quite fun. It's catchy, and it reminds me a little bit of the intro to Welcome to the NHK. The other songs are fairly generic, but they do just fine in progressing the story. Basically, the soundtrack doesn't add a whole lot to the anime, but it's solid. One fascinating thing to note, as a fun fact, the voice actress who voices Urabe, her name is Ayako Yoshitani. This is, as far as I can tell, the only anime she's ever done. Along with playing Urabe, she also sang both the intro and outro songs. It's a shame if you ask me. Her voice is quite interesting, and I would love to see her voice more characters in the future. Voice acting aside, here are a few selections from the OST to give you an idea of the kind of music you'll hear in this anime. The art in this anime looks good. The character models are standard, but Urabe feels unique and refreshing as a female lead. Also, the color scheme is quite nice. It isn't too bright or too dark, and there are several scenes that take place during dusk, which gives the anime a nice orange afterglow. Alright, so now to talk about what really makes this anime stand out, the characters. First you have Tsubaki. He is your typical high school boy, who doesn't seem like he gets much attention from the girls in his school. In fact, he had a crush on a girl all throughout junior high but was unable to tell her how he felt. Tsubaki is generally a go-with-the-flow kind of guy. He is normally happy to let his relationship progress at whatever pace makes Urabe happy, except for instances where Urabe is too cute and he just can't help but try to hug her. Tsubaki can be very jealous and a bit possessive, but he is all around your typical high school boy who falls into all the same traps one might expect. On the other hand, you have Urabe. Urabe is what you would consider a really cute but frumpy girl. She could be really attractive if she made herself up the right way, but she just doesn't seem to care. She is usually sleeping in between class and doesn't seem to care about making friends either. What makes her unique is her power to transmit her feelings to and from someone using a drool bond. It is never really explained how she knows about this power or how she has them, but you kinda have to take that as a given. It's okay though, you don't really think about it too much. The other interesting thing about her is how shy she is. She describes herself several times as a bit of a pervert, and yet she is very hesitant to move forward in her relationship with Tsubaki, and often gets angry at him for trying to progress to a level she is uncomfortable with. Say for example he tries to hug her because he is moved by something she did. She will usually dodge him and showcase her other unique power, the power to destroy things with a set of scissors she stores in the strap of her pantsu. Again, I'm not sure how she got this power, but I almost fell over laughing the first time I saw it. Here is a clip of her using the pantsu scissors so you can get a sense for what I'm talking about.
Ah.
There are also some other characters who help round out the anime. They include Tsubaki's sister, who takes care of him, Tsubaki's best friend, Kohei, who is dating Urabe's only friend, Ayuko. Because there is only a small cast of characters, you get to know each of them fairly well and how their bond strengthens over time. Alright, so let's answer the number one most important question. Should you watch this anime? Let's review some of the good and bad elements of Nazo no Kanojo Ecchi and who should watch this anime. The kind of people who would like Nazo no Kanojo Ecchi, aka the good. Do you enjoy romance anime that focuses more on the development of an existing relationship instead of the chase? Do you like your romance anime to have a hilarious and unique premise? Do you appreciate a small cast of characters and how their relationships change over time? Now the kind of people who would dislike Nazo no Kanojo Ecchi, aka the bad. Are you looking for a typical harem/ecchi romance story? Do you find the concept of licking drool gross and get a bit squeamish thinking about it? Are you looking for a romance that doesn't interject any comedy but instead focuses more on the development of a relationship in a conventional way? In summary, Nazo no Kanojo Ecchi is in a lot of ways your typical romance anime. It features many of the same episode themes you would see in a lot of other anime. When you add in Urabe and her special power, her timid nature, and the overall dynamic of the characters, what is normally a typical anime becomes something special and definitely worth a watch. Well, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you found this review helpful, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of GBE Reviews. Again, I'm your host Joe, saying to you, Jeanne.
Oh, please don't let me die.